All right, Cassidy is with us now, I believe. There she is. Hi, Cassidy. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I feel the energy in the city. This is a big game, the biggest of the year for sure.
I bet. By the way, I'm curious. You obviously you travel a lot doing the gig that you do. Do you ever wake up in a city one morning and be like, "Where am I again? I kind of forgot because I'm doing it so much."
Always.
That
often,
happens.
I often do. I'm
That's
like, well,
funny.
it's really like, where can I get my morning caffeine? And so then I gotta remember where my go-to spots are. But
Yeah.
yeah, it often happens that way. But I haven't been, interesting enough, and maybe that's kind of a side story to this matchup. To being the two best teams in the league record wise, but still not the title favorites.
Yeah.
Two teams who are performing at the highest level, but still have this reputation of being underlooked, small
Yeah.
market teams. But I think it's undoubtedly the biggest game of the year, and I'm starting to feel that. I know early on we always say that Christmas Day is the unofficial launch of the NBA season. It's starting to feel like the NBA's momentum is picking up, and what a great way to really kind of set it into overdrive than this caliber of a matchup.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Cassidy. Like, I'm not like these guys. My partners here today, G and Dustin, are much bigger NBA fans than I am. I'm older, and so I was a much bigger fan back in the 80s with the Lakers and Celtics. And I have not been as into regular season NBA as much in recent years. But this year, with this team, I am locked into every game because they are so much fun to watch. And I can't wait. And I've always poo-pooed the regular season in recent years. So I'm it's won me over completely. And yesterday we had a stat that this is the second best combined winning percentage in the history of the NBA this deep into a season for a
Crazy.
game. So, I mean, this is an all-timer regular season.
It really is. I mean, I don't think it could be understated. And how is Cleveland feeling about OKC's 15-game win streak, given that the
Bogus.
in-season
It's fugazi.
tournament
It's
game?
fugazi.
Yeah, it's bogus. Come on.
It's foo-foo.
Yeah.
So basically,
Yeah.
there's that extra chip. It's like, well,
Yeah.
no, we're the only ones who've had a 15-game winning streak, and I
Right.
think that's why it's captured your attention from the onset. Is that Cleveland came out of the gates just
Yes.
humming, putting people, on alert that this is a brand new team that is really playing to the best of their ability. And I think a player who really is kind of encompassing that is Evan Mobley. And that kind of is what Donovan Mitchell and Kenny Atkinson came together at the beginning of the year and was like, we need to get the most out of Evan Mobley. And I think we're seeing that. And we're seeing it in a way that we've always thought that he could be this massive defensive presence, but we're also seeing him, handle the ball in half court sets. He's taking the highest percentage of shots at the rim as well in his career, cutting down like on those floaters, and he's really aggressive. He's added some weight, so Evan Mobley, I think, is really a huge story for this Cavs team, as well as Donovan Mitchell. What I'm likening to Donovan Mitchell to right now is what Jason Tatum did last year for the Celtics in their championship run, taking a step back to allow other people to find their true value on the basketball court. And he is a consummate pro and a true leader. And so you're seeing those little things that really make up a quality championship team. But a matchup like this tonight, when the Thunder, yes, maybe some people may feel like that 15-game win streak is not, really a 15-game win streak, given that they lost in-season tournament game. But they're coming off massive wins, and coming off of a win over the Celtics and the Knicks.
Yep.
And so if they can take down the top two teams in the East, that's saying something.
Yeah, no doubt.
Cassidy, our friend, our buddy Jason Lloyd, who was on the panel, always talks about the league's worst nightmare is the Cavs Thunder NBA Finals because they want no parts of that. How true
Those
is
are
that?
people who are not watching these teams, though.
Right.
That's true.
How true is that from a national perspective that, like, you only care about the Knicks or the Celtics or the Lakers. I like to think that people who see good teams and good basketball, they just want to see a great game and a great series. Do you think that it is that pronounced that there's a bias towards the big market cities in the NBA?
Look, numbers are numbers, okay? So like when it comes to ratings, the numbers don't lie. It's the Warriors and Lakers who rate the highest. But I think what we need to understand, and I think we're continuing to say it, time is of the essence. Yes, LeBron James is continuing to fight Father Time, but we're not just rounding third. We are almost at home when it comes to those two guys. So it is imperative that we invest our time into the next wave of superstars, and lifting up guys like a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and a Donovan Mitchell, who have been in the league, who have proven that they are quality players, are taking the game to a different stage, and it's important. Whether or not they're getting equal time to the Lakers or the Warriors on the national stage, to me, you just got to look at that as a numbers game. And but it's important for everybody to pay attention to what's going on. And I think the only way to do that is these teams are performing, making people understand. A Shai Gilgeous-Alexander making people realize that he should be a front runner for MVP. Donovan Mitchell making people understand that he's one of the great leaders in this league. So, I don't know if that answers your question. I just think it's the current state we are in, but the future's ahead of us, and these two teams are part of it.
Cassidy, a lot of people have compared this Cavaliers team to the brand of basketball that the Warriors played when we were going up against them, when LeBron was here the second time. And I kind of agree to some extent, but they haven't proven it long enough. But they bring in Kenny Atkinson, who obviously spent some time with Steve Kerr and knows that Golden State offense very well. At what point in time do we start to buy into this run and think that this can be something that, hey, could maybe carry these guys to a championship potentially?
I mean, look, as someone who covers the regular season on a week-to-week basis, I like there should be a lot of importance on these games, because this is where you kind of learn your habits and kind of figure out ways you can be a championship team. But it really is the playoffs. Like, you can't teach or even learn on paper what it's like to compete in the playoffs. It is a completely different game, but the way that you can prepare yourself is in the regular season. And I do feel like this team is, Kenny Atkinson is putting out several different lineups throughout the game, and he's trying to see what he has in his arsenal, and he's going deep. I mean, this is one of the deepest benches and depth. Display of depth in the NBA, and I think that alone is going to help them. They're going to know who they can look to, those unsung heroes that often win championships for teams, those unsung heroes who he can look at down the bench and be like, okay, we need a big bucket or we need a big stop. That's the guy that we can throw in here to give us a spark. And you're seeing that with this Cleveland team. So I think a foundation is really being built with this group that you can see can be successful in the playoffs. But in terms of answering your question, when we're going to find out come playoff time.
Cassidy, in an era where it seems like we highlight often the bad things that athletes do off the court, one of the things I love about this Cavs team, now I don't know any of the players personally. Our guy Mikey McNuggets is at every Cavs game. He'll tell you every 8 seconds he was a D3 basketball player. He knows the players a little bit. So does Jason, a few other guys. It seems to me that not only has this become an excellent, great basketball team, but they're a great bunch of guys, and I appreciate that. They seem to be unselfish. Donovan Mitchell seems like the most unselfish superstar in the league. I think they have great chemistry because part of it is because they're such good guys. And that shows, and I like that. I know people don't talk about that stuff a lot, but I think that's cool.
No, Donovan Mitchell is one of the best guys in the league in terms of. I mean, my job is to try to get to know these players, even though I'm flying in and out of different cities. But my experiences with Donovan Mitchell have always been professional. Because look, basketball players in the NBA are massive stars in pop culture, not just in sports, because we've all heard the conversations of, it's different from the NFL, where they're not wearing helmets. Like these guys are more susceptible to have commercials, and they're just massive big stars, specifically in today's day and age. And so with that, obviously there's a lot of catering to guys, a lot of ego, a lot of I don't want to ruin my my whole routine. But Donovan has in my experience, has always been professional, has always, carried himself with an air of confidence, but yet humility. And, I think that's what is actually so convincing about this team as well, because, his leadership that he's showing right now. I mean, his numbers are down this year, but it's very clear that is contributing to the overall success of this group. And so that conscious effort to, make it a team, execution, and not just, being about his star shining. We've seen that countless times. It's not like he hasn't been on massive stages and put up 50-point, masterpieces. Like, this is a guy we all know is extremely talented, but I liken it to Jason Tatum. I covered the Celtics a lot last year, and, it was a conscious effort by Tatum, and we're seeing the same thing from Donovan Mitchell this season.
Cassidy, we know you got to go. Real quick, rapid fire, Cassidy Hubbarth related trivia. You ready? This is going to have something to do with something in your life. Let's start with, because you're from, I believe, a suburb of Chicago, northern Chicago. What is the fictional town in all the John Hughes movies in Illinois? Do you know it?
No, but I was in Home Alone 3 and Rookie of the Year. And
you were in Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, but because those my middle school was basically the school that they shot all those movies in. So I signed up for but no, I don't know.
I think she one-upped your question, bro.
That's true. That's even better. Town in Shermer, Illinois.
Out of here.
Pequod's Pizza is the best pizza in Chicago, or a tourist trap?
Tourist
you
trap.
Don't know it. Tourist trap. Yeah, that's what everybody.
Tourist trap. I don't. The burnt bottom doesn't appeal to me. I see why people like it, but it doesn't appeal to me. I'm a Gino's East kind of gal. I don't know why I like the disc of
fair enough. Pansut, lumpia, or chicken adobo?
Chicken adobo. Oh, pancit. Oh, shoot. Wow, look at you guys digging into the crates for some Filipino trivia. Oh, gosh. Lumpia. I can crush 30 without anyone seeing it. But pancit brings you good luck. So it's like a dish that when you eat it, it's supposed to you make it. I have memories of that. So I don't know. I'm gonna go lumpia because
that's it. G's wife is Filipino. My best friend is Filipino. So we got a little connection.
Good people. Good people.
And she cooks all of that, and I can't eat too much of it because
what? It's great.
But I can't have pancit.
We love fried pork.
Pork adobo. Oh my gosh.
Oh, chicken. Yeah. All right, last thing, Cassidy. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Cassidy. I'm not sure if you were alerted to this beforehand, but the executive producer of this show is Steve Becker, who.
Oh my gosh!
Who sent me a clip, and if you will allow us to play it. This is from a promo from the show you did with Steve Becker over a decade. Are you okay if we play this? I don't want to put you on the spot.
Yes, of course. Hi,
Steve. This is from SEC Gridiron Live. Steve Becker, Cassidy Hubbarth combo from about 12 years ago. Let's play it, Steve.
Wow.
Hi, I'm Cassidy Hubbarth. You'll see me this fall on SEC Gridiron Live, a brand new show, giving you a voice like never before. I want to hear what you have to say. I'll be on Twitter, Facebook, and we'll have viewer polls every week. You tell me what's on your mind, and I'll talk about it live on the air. That's SEC Gridiron Live. Join Charles Davis, Randy Cross, David Pollack, and me, Cassidy Hubbarth, on SEC Gridiron Live.
the only weekly SEC show you need. SEC Gridiron Live premieres September 2nd on Fox Sports South.
So we love EP Steve here.
That was awesome.
Cass, if you
well
want
done.
what was it like work with EP Steve before any of us knew EP Steve?
He gave me my big break. Like, I owe so much to Steve. That was my first big on-air job, and quite frankly, my role. This will bring you guys back in time, but my role was the social media reporter when that was like, when social media was just kind of on the scene. That was like in 2008 or something like that, 2009. Yeah. And so I was like reading tweets on the air before that was even a thing. So that show was ahead of its time. But that was a huge break for me, and like the first live show that I really ever worked on. And so, wow, that was really touching. I'm like, I did not plan to get emotional with that. That's Steve,
well, you made
you're the best.
Steve's day. You made Steve's day with that, Cassidy. There's no doubt about it. We really thank you for coming on with us. It was a pleasure to have you on. We'll hope to have you on again next time you're in to do a Cavs game. We appreciate it, and enjoy our great city, our underrated great city.
We'll see you for the finals.
Okay,
that's
you'll
right.
see me a lot
that.
more because we're gonna, I'm gonna be around here a lot more. That's all right. That's for sure. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. This was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
She was all.